guys. So welcome to our. Is this our 10th episode already?
One of our.
Oh my god!
1 decade into Hear Me Out.
Mhm.
We love it.
Season 10, let's get sickening.
Yay!
Boots the house on
Yeah.
Boost the house down.
Your non-binary T is valid, just to let you know. It's y'all know Mr. Isabel Brooks. Okay, never mind. Moving on.
Okay. Alright, let's move on.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you guys want to just start off by introducing your names
And
and like your position in CMNSU?
Hey, you want to start?
No, you go.
Okay. Well, hi, I'm Erica. My current role in CMNSU, not sure. I'm doing co-op writing blogs. Yeah, I guess that's my role.
Co-op queen.
Hello, I'm Eden. Ex co VP events. Current and ex former VP temp internal. Yeah. Now helper at CMNSU. Yeah. So just, in the retirement home right now.
This overtime. Yeah, we're both in it.
In the nursing home. Sent away.
She got several names under her tab.
The resume stacked though.
Yeah. Go to her LinkedIn, you'll find all.
Yeah.
Oh,
Eden
for real?
Chipperfield. LinkedIn.
Oh, I thought you were joking. I was like, my resume's on that stack.
No, it's good though.
Not the LinkedIn plug.
Stuff. Yeah.
Like, I'm plugging it because she's like what every comm student aspires to have.
Stop. I'm gonna cry.
Yeah.
That's not okay.
Yeah,
She did everything she
she really
could.
did everything.
Yeah.
She is
you-
Also honor student.
oh,
Oh, on
period.
top of that.
Yeah, but I'm the honor student that did the courses, so I feel like those who did the project deserve way more credit.
See, but most of us still didn't do that.
Yeah.
that's
Just
so true.
saying, I did it.
Okay, so y'all stop.
Take
Don't
the
undermine
W,
yourself.
take the W.
But honestly, even though they're technically ex-members, I feel like they've done a lot for CMNSU. And
sure.
they shouldn't just be considered ex-members.
Yeah. And
You
for the fact that they're still here, it says a lot too.
Yeah, they're still here.
Yeah, no, they keep the club lively.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need some of that old charisma.
Bruh.
Not the old jokes.
We need
I just opened up about my trauma about being called old, and now you're calling me old.
Oh my.
That could be a good segue to the topic.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah,
Do you
that's
guys want to
true.
introduce the topic?
Yeah.
Sure.
You can do a little hear me out.
Yeah, hear me out. Getting older isn't as good as people thought it was gonna be.
I'll just be on the sidelines today.
What?
Being the youngest one here.
You're not even that young though. You're already an adult.
Yeah. And O5s are entering this September too. So you're already a third year.
Oh my god.
You're already 3 years ago.
Yeah. I can see
I
the
know,
wrinkles.
Yeah, you're not the baddie on the block anymore.
So
No, actually, it was kind of funny. I was looking at the NHL team. Don't ask me why. The various NHL teams.
Okay.
And I was kind of shook to realize that most of the hockey players are 2000 up.
Are they actually?
Yeah. I mean, there's obviously a few that are 1990s and things, but they're mostly 2000s. And it kind of made me realize that my age group is now the ones becoming the people that people are looking up to.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that kind of, I don't know, it kind of made me realize that life just keeps moving. We're on this train and it ain't stopping. Yeah, so that was an interesting discovery.
That makes me kind of depressed thinking about it now.
I kind of feel like it's a depressing thing. I feel like
I
it's
think
something to look forward to in a way. Because it's you lived your life when you were younger,
Yeah.
and now you're amping up for the years to come.
Yeah.
that is true.
Wait, one person that comes to mind is Quinn Hughes. How old is he? I don't even know. How old
He's 24.
is he actually?
Mhm.
Okay. So that's wow. Yeah, that is 2000s though. So
Yeah, 1999, but math.
yeah.
He's on the cusp.
On the cusp.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's good to hear, but it sometimes makes you feel a bit did I do anything with my life? A little bit, right?
Definitely, yeah. I feel no, especially when you see, I guess, social media or LinkedIn. Especially, I go on LinkedIn aggressively, right? And then I see so many of accomplishments, and I kind of see what they're doing like when they entered, and they're like, oh, they entered like 2 years after me. I'm like, they did so much more. And that's when you kind of realize like, no, yeah, it feels like you just didn't do as much as you could have. Also, COVID.
Yeah.
It's definitely the COVID thing too.
I guess like for me, it's a lot of imposter syndrome because on that point, when I see people who are much younger than me who are like living abroad, especially, I feel really uncomfortable because I'm like, oh man, maybe I should have done that. Like, or maybe I should have. No, I don't regret going to university, but maybe I should have like taken a year off and like done a Disney cruise or something like that. I don't know. So I feel like when I see people doing so well, I'm always like, ooh, what should I be doing currently that like gets me that? But then it's also like I'm on my own journey.
Exactly. I feel that a lot recently. Like I can't have any days where I feel kind of satisfied with what I'm doing or satisfied with myself. I feel like if I have a rest day where I don't do anything, I'm like, I feel useless. I don't know if you guys can relate to that, but it's like I should be doing something. Like I should be having more hobbies. I should be like improving myself constantly.
It's always like comparing yourself to somebody else.
Oh yeah.
No matter if they're older or younger, because it's like even at this age, you look at somebody who's older than you, and you're like, oh, when they were my age, they were doing so much more.
Oh
You never stop comparing yourself.
Definitely.
My father met my mom when he was 19.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Wow.
Married at 22.
Okay.
Yep. So shout out. But like
out.
that will never be me. That will never be me.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, in my like old age now, I think about all the things that I wanted to do as a kid, which I didn't get to do. Like I never got to be a childhood author. I never got to be a childhood actor. I didn't get to I don't know. I just didn't do things that I thought were gonna happen. I mean, I'm not sure about you guys when you were young, but I thought I would be I don't know, this is so cringe, but like when I was little, I always had this depiction of what I would look like when I was a certain age. And I hate to tell my younger self, Mama, we've gone in a complete different direction.
Yeah. I feel like I was always more creative when I was younger, which I feel like I kind of,
Same.
you know, I missed that about myself. Like I would, you know, even though it was like maybe like making like videos of toys or whatever, like I would like scrapbook or like read. I had a really big imagination.
But saying that, I mean, you still kind of do this to this day. So maybe it's
Right.
like you've always enjoyed that and it's just evolved into what you like to do now. Yeah. Because you're a huge toy collector, right?
Oh yeah.
So it's like your inner child's still there. So in one way you've grown up, but you're also enjoying things. Like I don't particularly enjoy some of the things I did as a kid, like playing with Playmobil. Like I wouldn't do that again. But I would definitely like go play soccer outside for hours if I could. But I just don't have the stamina nor the lungs to do that anymore.
It's true. And like not only do you make it as a job and like collect it or like make it as a hobby, but the act of like I guess sharing it, I think that's also like a big step. Because like there's so many people liking the same stuff, and by seeing that content they can like, you know, they can have the courage to express themselves, do the things they want to do. And I feel like that's a lot. That is a good thing to do. I feel like people would be encouraged to be more like you and like be able to like things that they like.
That's sweet.
And that's a good thing, like, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but it's like that childlike,
Yeah.
you know,
A little bit of innocence.
innocence that you have. It's
Yeah.
like it's nice to see that you
In
still
this
keep
like
it on.
corrupt world.
Well, yeah and no, because it's like some people just like try to like push all that away.
Oh yeah.
And like they stop themselves from like so many opportunities that come with something like that.
Yeah.
But it's like it's nice to see that you still have that.
Mhm.
It's more authentic in a way for everybody.
Yeah, like
you know?
it's not, it doesn't seem fake. And I'm not saying people who like to collect are fake,
Yeah.
but it's like I personally, like, hear me out, but I don't particularly like people who collect Funko Pops because
It's always the Funko Pops.
well, I don't get it because people keep saying, oh, they'll estimate or like they'll do value or like they'll build in assets or value.
Oh, like they
To me,
just
that-
buy them.
Yeah,
like-
to me it's a depreciating asset.
Mm.
But also it's like who's gonna want to buy that in like 50
No,
years?
real.
Like when everyone stops talking about Stranger Things and it's a thing of the past, do you really want my Demogorgon like that's in a box? I don't think so. So
so
that
right for
so
that.
like that makes me mad. But you do it in a way that's sweet. Like, are all your Sunny Angels unboxed?
Yeah. Like, I think the thing with Funko Pops is that they don't take them ever out the box, right? But Sunny Angels, like, I like to bring them with me to, like, restaurants, and I like to coordinate, like,
Your fits.
the fits or, like, the food to the place.
Who do you have today?
Today I have, I think I have my cheese one and my bread one. My bread one
Oh.
is, like, a favorite.
Little grilled cheese moment.
Yeah. So,
cute.
I don't know, I, like, find joy in, like, coordinating things like that. Or, like, yeah, I don't know. Funko Pops is crazy though. Like I have family in the US and I guess their neighbors are big Funko Pop collectors. And my mom like was there once. She sent me a picture of their Funko Pop wall and there's like 3,000 of them.
Holy.
Like that.
Like we could buy groceries. Like why did we choose to buy why did we choose to do that? Okay,
Yeah.
then it's also like, but it could bring you joy,
Yeah, no,
right?
that's
So it's
what
like
I'm
I'm not gonna sit
saying.
here and like
Funko Pop Island.
shit all over someone who like might love that. So never mind. Maybe I'll keep my trap shut. But it's also like the way I see it, I'm like, oh, so you could have just paid rent. But then again, I could say the same thing about people who love makeup and they spend thousands of dollars on makeup. I'm like, okay, but you could have like bought a tank of gas for that.
And then
like
people
it's okay.
will still have like whatever they need for their like base, but then they'll just keep adding like lip gloss or something because like it's like a new release and like they want to get it.
I mean, everybody has that thing that they
Yeah.
want to spend more
Right?
on. Like, you know,
Yeah.
some people want to spend more on their cars, for example.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
it's like stuff like that.
Mhm.
I
It's
guess
just,
right. With that being said, I guess it's not so much about like what they collect, but it's the amount of like, okay, how much to what extent are you gonna go? Like if you're let's say you have like 2,000 in your like savings account, you better not use that all for your Funko Pops. But if
Real.
you have like grands, then like it's just like extra cash lying
Yeah.
around, then okay, go for it. Do whatever you want to do with it. But
I think that's a big part of like adulthood is like being able to control your funds wisely and not go overboard with the spending. I think that's just a part of like growing up, and I think not a lot of people like know how to manage their funds though, unfortunately, which is like kind of sad, kind of scary.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say they should teach finances in high school because at the end of the day, no one's going to listen.
Right.
I honestly hate to say it, but I feel like it's growing up is understanding how to manage money. And that's a big life lesson. I'm not saying they shouldn't teach it. They should maybe provide awareness of it, but I don't want to do tax 101.
yeah.
Right. And I feel like a lot of people get down on school education for that. I'm like, yeah, but you learn so many more things in school than like taxes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also at the end of the day, I don't know, I feel like this is very uneducated to say, but there's so many resources there where you don't need to specifically learn how to do it. Like you can Google an accountant and like build a relationship with an accountant and then you can get them to do your taxes for you.
Real.
Hopefully your accountant knows how to do taxes. Because if not, I might be getting a call soon.
Or I might as well just hit up H&R Block.
Oh, okay. The free tax return thing.
They take your check out.
Yeah.
Speaking of like Sunny Angels and like managing money, did you ever like collect things as a child, and like what do you collect as an adult now?
That is a good question. I feel like it's just evolved for me. Like I used to collect Little's pet shops. I had about like 1,000 of them. And I recently ended up selling them as well for like around I think like $700. So like I made money. And people still collect them to this day. I was really shocked. Like I was selling it on Marketplace and there was like hundreds of listings.
Jeez.
So I think it's still a thing. And the thing is mine were kind of like
Vintage, yeah.
'cause they don't make the model that I had anymore. Like the new Little's pet shops that look a bit funky.
They still make them?
They still make them.
Oh, that's good to know.
Right? And I had like the ones because I used to follow like a big YouTuber. I think her name was like Sophie GTV. She would make Little's Pet Shop videos. She gets like millions of views, I'm pretty sure. And like the characters that she used in her like series sell for like 100 plus each.
I have to clean up my closet
Yeah,
soon.
that's what I'm saying. So I was a big LPS collector. Yeah.
Yeah. Gaius? Collect anything?
Honestly, I was not the type to collect because I just didn't see any interest in any of that, and that's like personal.
Yeah,
But
that's
like,
fair.
I did have the tendency to like just buy things I saw online. So if it was like, you know, like Floam that we used to go around, like that thing you used to play with, kind of like slime, stuff like that, like small
Yeah,
trinkets
yeah.
like that. I would spend my money on stuff like that.
Oh.
So it was like I wasn't like necessarily spending all that on like collectibles. I was just like doing it on stuff.
You're
I
just
saw
like,
online.
ooh, this looks nice.
Yeah, this looks nice. I'll get that. This looks nice. I'll get that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Again, learning how that doesn't work out in the end for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Solid.
Erica, what did you collect, or did you not?
I'm kind of like on the same page as like Gaius. I just kind of collect whatever I like at that time, and then I kind of like get sick of it easily. So when I was young, you know those like the not fluffy bunnies, but those like the Sylvian bunnies, those like the gray little.
Oh, the little critters or whatever they're called?
Calico critters?
Yeah.
Maybe I only know this in Korean.
Oh, okay.
But I think that's what it is for the longest time, and then I kind of lost it while I moved here. It's just I can't find it anymore. I don't know what happened.
That you could sell those for a long time.
Right?
I think they're pretty popular
They
now
are
too.
now. They're coming back.
I'm so salty.
Everyone get ready. They're coming back. Everyone hold on to their horses.
Clean up your closet.
Yeah. Clear that bookshelf off, sis. You got some critters coming in this setup. Yeah.
But I guess without, I guess like, but then in terms of like what I regularly buy or like my friends give it to me for like gifts or something is Shinjang.
Oh, yeah.
My friend Val, she actually gave it to me the other day because she works at Token, and then there's this
friend named Val.
No, her.
Oh.
Her. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know why I was
you said
talking.
my friend Val, and I was like, you have another friend named Val?
Who
Yeah.
also works at Togo.
Yeah.
No, I'm just sleep deprived. But yeah, no, she just got me like a Shinjang bento box thing and like a
Ooh.
keychain and stuff.
Yeah.
What's
It's a good deal.
What's Shinshan?
How would you explain
It's
it?
like a cartoon, and it's popular in like Asia. Like if you were to compare it to like a Western cartoon, maybe like
What does the character look like?
he's like a boy, a little boy.
Does he have black hair?
Well, now that
He's like in a family, and he's like the main character, but he's a bit naughty.
Oh.
okay, well now that just
Like he likes to like show his butt to the camera, like mooning.
Oh wait, did he
Oh
have like
my
this one like
God.
pudding thing about him too?
I think so.
Like people used to turn him into food in a way.
Yeah.
What?
He usually wears like red.
I've seen that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know what you mean.
Have to
Yeah.
look it
He has,
up
like, black
after.
hair. There's a lot of
Ooh.
pictures of him just like shaking his booty.
Yeah.
Gosh,
He's a little
one of
naughty
us.
boy. He's
One
a
of us.
troublemaker.
Hmm.
Crazy.
Okay.
Cheeky.
Yeah.
A little
That's
cheeky.
cute.
Yeah, he's cute, and I think a lot of it's coming back too.
It is because it's like what retro, whatever.
It's like vintage.
Oh, really? That's
But
interesting.
no, low key. Speaking of retro, this is so like off topic, but I was watching like SpongeBob clips on TikTok because they kept. Also, I was really into SpongeBob.
Mm.
I collected like SpongeBob DVDs too.
Did they have yellow DVD cases?
No,
Oh no.
but some of the CDs were yellow actually.
Mm.
Okay.
You know when they had CD players, we had CD players.
Yes.
Only early 2000s kids would know.
Did you have a cassette
CD
player?
players.
Did you have a cassette player?
No, I didn't. I think I did when I was
I did
really
too.
little.
Do you have a VHS?
I did, but
Same.
that was like little.
Right.
And we had like those boxy computers. They're like this
Yeah.
thick. Anyways, only 2000.
Yeah, only 2000s kids would know.
You know. But the SpongeBob clips, like, why was I laughing my ass off at them? Like, why is SpongeBob so funny? Like, now that I'm like older, like, why is it funnier to me? Like, it was already funny when I was little. But now it's just like even funnier because I think the characters are so unhinged.
Do you notice innuendos in SpongeBob that you wouldn't have noticed as a child?
Yeah, I think I did.
I watched Megamind the other night. As one does.
The blue guy.
You know.
Really, not the baldy.
Well, I can just be honest on the pod. Still stands strong to this day.
Hear me out,
I will say the character Hal gives very incel vibes. I'm sure that was the idea, but it's funny because Jonah Hill seems to play like the same character. He's very typecasted. That's a whole other topic. But when it comes to what was I talking about? Oh, right. Megamind. But watching that movie I haven't seen it in a few years, but it was fun because I was like, oh, there's so many more innuendos in this movie than I thought. And I realized it's because they make it for kids, but they know adults are gonna have to watch it with their kids, so they make it the humor in a way where you're like, oh, haha, my kid's laughing at this, but it's like, oh, like as an adult, I'm like, that's kind of funny. Like Shrek's a lot like that.
Oh yeah.
Shrek's like that. What else did I watch the other day? Okay, I'm not just watching animated movies. I just happen to be, I don't know. Sometimes you get bored and you're like, let's throw on Surf's Up.
Yeah.
Surf's Up's so funny. Chicken Joe, like he's obviously a stoner. Like that's a stoner character, but it's funny. You don't realize that as a kid. You're like, oh, he's just a funny guy.
Yeah.
But as an adult, you're like, oh, he's high.
Yeah, like that.
He's
van
on that
in, like,
chonga.
Cars.
Oh yeah.
You know the van. The
Yeah.
flowers.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's always fun. I like when you get older, it's kind of you notice things that your parents maybe notice that you don't talk about. It's like same with like I remember asking my dad a couple weeks ago, I said, how did you like sit and watch all these like horrible TV shows with me? And he said, well, you kind of just have to do it. And I realized when I used to babysit, I did that too. So I think I'm just basically having to realize that we either need you know, AI can't write kids shows because they're all gonna suck.
Not AI.
Yeah, but I'm just letting it throw back to like a couple topics ago. But I'm just saying that
Hear me out.
I feel like parents do a lot for like their kids, and then when they get older, you realize like how much
they had to actually do.
Yeah.
So real. But like if I was a parent, I would enjoy watching SpongeBob with my kid.
You love him more than your kid.
I'd be like, yo, this is so funny.
And the kids just are like,
like mom.
That's not politically correct, Mom.
Yeah. Like I don't care, it's funny.
Yeah.
Like this is highly controversial.
Yeah.
Like there's like hella fat shaming and stuff on like kids shows that you don't even notice.
Oh yeah.
And stuff. And like I've just seen like a lot of like clips of just shows. Like I think Kim Possible was one of them I saw. The jokes in there are crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck.
No.
Oh my god, what was that other one? I know I sent you a TikTok about it. I just don't know the name of the show.
Mm-hmm. I think it was like an American show because they had like Spanish in it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Proud Family? No, that's not the Proud Family. I'm sorry.
It was like was it animated?
Yeah, it was animated, but it was
Spanish.
Like a show.
Dora?
Yeah, they called someone like a gordita, which means like
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's like they got like jokes in there which are like low key, like
like nowadays
watching this?
people are like, you know,
that wouldn't have
putting
fly.
awareness. Yeah. So
I feel like it's also just a culture shift as well.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm very much one of these people that says like that was never okay, but it's very interesting how the conversation has gone from like that's not okay and we're not going to repeat that to criticizing because I'm a big believer. It's like, well, it was a long time ago when SpongeBob first came out, and even though it wasn't okay then, I think it's okay to critique it now, but we can't go back and change it. We just can't. Yeah. But it's interesting, even watching shows from the like 2007. Okay, so I've been into Gossip Girl lately.
Okay.
Have y'all watched it?
I've watched clips on TikTok.
Okay, but it's good.
It's good.
I do enjoy, but there's jokes in there that are very like blue, which you're kind of like, that would not fly today. That would not fly today at all. No bird would be flying. And it's okay because we've learned from that, but it's just very interesting how we've gone from, you can kind of make a risque joke and that's it, to now it's like, no, you will not be saying that.
Yep.
And
Educate yourself.
I'm very curious to see how TV is going to evolve from that.
Oh yeah.
That is true.
I know Alan in our multimedia team, he was like trying to get us to write down media predictions of like where we think the media will go and what kind of trends will come next. But I don't know if you guys have any trends you think will happen in the near future. Because he asked me to like think of some, and I genuinely can't really think of anything. Like I never really predict these things well.
I feel like with the way it is going right now, I feel like it'll make a comeback. I don't feel like they're gonna like change
like
it,
the
and
Y2K
then
thing and stuff.
It'll come back because you already see that happening in trends.
That's true.
It's only not that long before it like starts into media too.
Oh my god, I used to like hate on Crocs, but why do I want a pair so bad now?
Crocs are comfy. I have a pair in my car.
I really want
The Jibbits.
I know.
Invest you in some Jibbits. They're good.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Crocs.
But it's same like it's funny how we see fashion evolve.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we look back on 2000s fashion and roast people about it, but it's like, okay, but I can see it chick walking down the street and she's wearing the exact same thing, but that's chic. But Lindsay Lohan wearing it in 2002, that's ugly. So it's kind of that weird hypocrisy. Same with hair. You know, in the 80s, big puffy hair was a thing, and then now it's like that would be considered like not on trend.
Yeah.
But now hair rollers have made a huge comeback.
Oh, like blowouts and stuff.
No, that is true.
Yeah. You're so right. I think you're right, guys, with like the whole, it just kind of circles back.
Yeah. Because it's done that in the past too.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'll do it again. And at one point it'll stop being popular again. It's just like a cycle.
Yeah.
It goes through every single time.
So real.
Do you have something that is popular today that you wish wasn't?
Oh, like a hot take? Like a hear me out?
Sorry, I know this was like kind of last week, but
No, but like that's
but
so
I'm
good.
curious about like regarding this topic.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like
I don't know.
go,
I think
go.
this is kind of you know how like you guys were talking about like media trends,
yeah.
and I feel like one of the media trend is now that social media is evolving, anyone can be able to speak out, and like anyone can write books, anyone can just voice out what they want.
Anyone can cook. Anyone can cook.
If you could talk, you can sing.
Yeah.
And I feel like we need to filter those out. Some people don't deserve those kind of
That's
spotlight.
so true.
She said, I'm not hearing you out.
She said some people do not need to speak.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's good. I think it's definitely a better way of like being able to communicate with others.
Yeah.
Like for some examples, I'm not trying to go back to the LinkedIn stuff, but like my reels, they're filled with all those like job, I guess like tips, interview tips, like whatever that's going on, all job related.
She's traumatized or something.
And I'm like, yeah, those are nice. And I feel like that's one of the good things of the social media evolving. Like anyone can like give you tips.
Like you can see a lot of content.
But then the cons is anyone can give you tips.
So you're like, who is this person?
Yeah.
And like they're like sounding all inspirational. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I click and it's like 58 followers. I'm like, okay, well,
Yeah.
good for you.
I'm curious.
Yeah. I mean, everybody has something to say. But sometimes it's like,
Keep your mouth shut.
yeah. It's like everybody's opinions are different.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course,
yeah,
of
And
course.
having an opinion that's like goes against the mass, but it's also like,
An opinion are not, I think, opinions are not facts. I feel like a lot of people need to learn that lesson. We're
Hear
just,
me out.
like, your opinions and your feelings.
Hear me out.
Your opinions and feelings are valid, but they're not facts. And I'm just going to come out and say that because there's a lot of people out there who think that they feel a certain way and that has to encompass everything, which is valid. Not taking that away from you, but it ain't facts.
heard
Hurts. Period.
you out.
No, because that's also a big part of adulthood, and not even just adulthood, but like growing as a person is like taking into account other people's opinions.
Yeah.
And
Of course.
respecting that.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
The biggest lessons I've ever learned is how to take accountability.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And it wasn't from a bunch of problematic YouTubers who didn't realize blackface was wrong. It's from just realizing that there's a difference between like there's a difference between saying you're sorry and proving you're sorry. Like I always used to say this like when I did like high school presentations when I was doing my co-op is I said when people say I'm sorry and they just move on, that's not accountability.
No,
if
it's not.
if you step on someone's foot and say, "Oh, I'm so sorry I did that." And then that's it. Then it's like, okay. But if you say, "Oh, I'm sorry for stepping on a foot, but can I get you ice? Can I get you Advil?"
Yeah.
That's like showing that you're genuinely sorry. Obviously, that's a silly example.
Right.
But I think becoming an adult, and that's a hard lesson I had to learn, was like learning how to say sorry and then showing that I'm sorry, that you can't just say that. One of my biggest triggers is when people say, "I'm sorry, but."
Oh,
That should never happen, no.
You're not sorry.
You're not.
Mm-mm.
You're not.
Like, I understand you want to be heard out.
Mhm.
Like, there's a difference between reasoning and then justifying it.
Mhm.
You know?
Like, yeah.
There's a difference saying like, yes, I'm sorry, and then explaining what it was and then improving from it, and just saying like, sorry, but as like
Yeah.
a sentence starter. I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, just take that out. You're not sorry.
And taking accountability is hard though. Like, I don't think anyone
That is
is
true.
really super good at it. Like, they have to like learn to get used to it.
It takes a lot. And it's also like you have to be like confident in yourself and
Yeah.
like what you stand for.
There's a lot of gaslighting nowadays, honey.
That's true.
So.
The way gaslighting is a thing. Like there's a
Oh,
word for it.
there's
you
a
know?
word for it.
You know?
There was never a word like back in our day.
Back in our days.
Back in my day, we ain't had no gaslighting.
But like we're using that word. We're
We
taking
are.
it and we're running with it.
yeah.
Which is like understandable because it's like, you know,
Yeah. Gaslighting. It's a good word.
Yeah.
I like it.
when you light the gas.
I don't know why that is the word though. Like
I think
origin
because you get
behind
something
it.
going, essentially. Like, I don't know.
Oh,
but-
you're lighting the fire or something like that.
Yeah, leave in the comments below, but I believe it's because when someone like back in their day,
Back in their day.
when you
Back in
lit
their
like when you lit the gas and you put flame on so you spark it.
Oh, like
Yeah,
it
I
sparks
think.
something.
Oh, no.
Something in a way.
Yeah, back in like
Back
Their
in the
day.
caveman days.
yeah,
Lit
Ooga
fire.
Booga. I like saying back in Ooga Booga days.
It's in the Flintstones.
Back
Yeah.
in the Ice Age.
Back in the Wilma days. Yeah.
That was kind of good.
Yeah. Well, me and Fred, we know.
Me and Bam Bam.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel accountability is a hard lesson to learn. There's a lot of hard lessons to learn when you're always like money,
Oh, yeah.
applying for jobs,
100%.
accountability. I think just growing up and realizing the world is not a perfect place either.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a lot of problems that happen in a day to day, whether that be depression or whether that be money issues or school issues, family issues, etc. There's so much more going on, and I really dislike when like people have main character syndrome because there's so much more in the world going on than you, Bethany.
Yeah, makes sense. It's like everybody is fighting something that you don't know about.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, if you were in their position, you would hope for like some forgiveness in a way, you know,
Mhm.
or like
Yeah.
some understanding. But it's like when you feel like you're the main character, you like give nobody a chance.
Mm-hmm. Or you think like the world is revolving around you.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah, it's like reflection is also really important
oh
when
yeah.
you're like growing up because that's how you learn.
But also we need to realize like when you grow up, like the world is actually like really unfair.
Yeah, and that's something you have to live with because if it was fair, like there's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Well, it's like acknowledging, like, for someone like me, I like acknowledge my privilege every day, right? And I'm glad that that was brought to my attention so I can continue to like not only like shut up when I need to, but also understand that my life is significantly less difficult than other people, like marginalized communities. But I think again, that's a lesson you learn. Like that wasn't something I was taught as a child, but I'm sure as hell I was taught when I was an adult.
Preach.
Yeah.
and it also really depends on you on if you want to learn that.
Oh,
Totally.
There's so
Definitely.
many people who like will still not understand that fact.
Very like stubborn.
Stubborn and like they still stay in that privileged position,
Uh-huh.
which is like I understand you have it, but it's like it's nice to like
That's privilege to stay ignorant,
yeah
right?
Mm.
exactly.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
That's deep.
Yeah.